I said it before the break. It takes a lot for me to genuinely just like see a number on a page and have my jaw drop, right? Oh, this Derrick Henry ran for 10,000 yards in his high school rushing career. And I'm like, well, he's Derrick Henry, right? Oh, reports say Deion Sanders ran a 4.19 timed 40 when he was a junior in college. I'm like, people are fast. I don't know. A number came across my computer today that legitimately made me go, ooh, what?
What?
Exactly. Thank you, Stephen A. Indiana head coach Curt Cignetti told CBS, this is Indiana head football coach Curt Cignetti, who's been at every level. He's a bit of a brash guy, right? He's a guy that said, like, I win at every level, Google me. And then he went and almost had an undefeated season. So, hey, maybe. Talking about NIL resources, this is a quote Cignetti gave to CBS. This is an unprecedented couple days, weeks, where everybody's waiting on this rev share. And the 5 or 6 out there that have unlimited NIL resources, it's kind of scary for everybody else. He continued, I think our little pot of gold is pretty nice, but we're not at 40 million or 30 million or even 25 million. Luckily, CBS had the same question I had, right? You see somebody say 40 million, you're like, whoa, are you just saying you don't have 40, or are you saying someone out there does have 40? They followed up with, is Cignetti saying the top of the market is now $40 million? Right now, I would say yes, says the Indiana football coach. Cignetti says there are teams out there in college football that will spend over $40 million on their football team this year.
Bruh.
College. Like 7 years ago, they were spending no money paying players over the table.
Yeah.
40 million or more. And Cignetti wasn't, well, I feel like once the cat's out of the bag, he's just like, what else do you want to know? I'll tell you where the bodies are buried. He continued to CBS naming names. He said, if you want to be the best, you got to be able to compete against the best. Right now, I understand that it is Oregon, Ohio State, Texas Tech because of their oil money. This is his words, not mine. Texas Tech because of their oil money. I think Notre Dame's up there pretty good right now, too. Miami, of course. He named 6 schools. 3 of those schools, by the way, are in the top 5 of 247's transfer portal rankings. And if you look at schools like Miami, right, $4 million quarterback, the reports are out there for Carson Beck. He's driving around in a Lamborghini. If you look at Texas, they have 4 Power 4 defensive line transfers, which if you pay attention to numbers, defensive line is one of the most expensive positions in the transfer portal, maybe outside of quarterback. $40+ million. Now, I knew numbers were growing. I'd heard 20 last year for Ohio State and a couple others. I thought 25, 27 this year. Maybe if you throw in rev share, the revenue share money, you could get up to 30.
I say, yeah, the revenue share, I think, definitely kicks into it, but you can only designate so much to one sport.
And I believe since Cignetti did put in this little conversation that everybody's waiting on rev share, I think he has these numbers, and that's before revenue share. $40+ million is essentially half an NHL team salary cap this year. The salary cap for the Canes is $88 million this year. There's a college football team that could be making half that. Maybe 6 of them. I just gave you the teams. And if you're like, well, maybe Cignetti's over, he's whining because he wants to drum up support for Indiana. Okay, maybe. CBS did come from another angle. In the article, a year ago, Ohio State made national headlines when athletic director Ross Bjork said the program spent $20 million on its national championship winning roster. But multiple industry sources to CBS with knowledge of the market told CBS the top spending programs in 2024 paid upwards of $30 million. If the top spenders in 2024 spent 30, 40 is, that's next. College football is going to become Dennis, have you ever gone to a piano bar?
I actually have not,
Okay.
but I do know how they operate.
I would suggest it. If you can get a good group, it's a fun time.
I've heard that's a great time.
Need to bring the fun a little bit because you need to have people that you're interacting with. But every time I've gone at a certain point in the night, particularly if you're at a piano bar anywhere in the South, at a certain point in the night, one of the the dueling piano players is going to play the fight song for a college football team. And they're going to put on the board that they have with the little, what's playing, what's next requests. They're going to say $50 to get me to stop playing this fight song and to play your favorite team's fight song. And somebody in a Clemson yellow golf shirt or Clemson orange golf shirt is going to walk up there, slam $50 on the piano, and they're going to start playing Clemson's fight song. And somebody with that's going to yell "Go Dogs" is going to go up there and put $100 down, and they're going to play Georgia. And then somebody else. And at the end, it's going to be a rich Alabama fan and a rich Florida fan are just going to be going back and forth. $500, $600. They'll be pooling money at their table. We need to make sure we win. $1,000, and it's I can't emphasize this enough. To me, the dumbest spending of money I've ever seen. For that, $500, you get 45 more seconds of your fight song being played than the other team's fight song being played. But college football fans are that kind of way. Another example. Omaha for the College Baseball World Series. There is a bar in Omaha that has mastered this. They sell Jell-O shots. They also, when you buy Jell-O shots, ask you during the World Series when it's going on in Omaha, they ask you which team would you like to support. And if, let's say, State's there, right? You go I'd like to buy 12 Jell-O shots for my table and Wolfpack. And they walk up to a dry erase board and they put 12 tally marks under NC State. And it becomes a stupid competition where you're riding for your team and rich guys and rich ladies walk in there and go, I'll take 500 Jell-O shots for everybody here and put it on LSU just because they want their team to win. It's going to become that where the LSU is going to be rumored to be $40 million, and there's going to be rich Alabama boosters going, well, we got to get to $50 million. Let's pool we got to get to $50 million.
Yeah, at least 45. Let's go.
We can't lose at the Jell-O shots. I don't know anybody that likes taking a billion Jell-O shots. It just sounds like a stomach hurt to me.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where I'm going. Ready? Here's how I think you do it. It does take a little bit of deal with the you kind of got to sell your soul a little bit. College sports, all you do, you go to your most hated rival. You meet like in a Texas Western, right?
Okay.
Dusty road. You each pull up with your cavalry, right?
Like the Wire, have a parlay.
Yeah, exactly. You hop out. One person walks up to negotiate. Everybody's that whole thing's going on, and you go, "Hey, listen. I think I can set it up so we can make each other way better." And then once, me and you, right, to the moon, and then we'll fight it out amongst us once we get there and we distance ourselves from all this other riffraff. All you need to do is buy a website, right, a domain that's named after whatever rivalry you have, and it's NIL donations, bar graph next to each other with a number on who's winning, and let your fans see it. If it were, say, UNC State, there's a website you go to that just has a thermometer being filled up for both of them. One Carolina blue, one red, and it's just inching up forward. Your fan base is going to see that, and they're not going to want to lose. Or if Georgia-Bama did it.
Oh, gosh, just do it all three schools here in the Triangle.
Do all three schools here in the Triangle.
Yeah.
Put it up there and make it a competition, because I think that's part of what Signetti's doing there. He's putting $40 million out there so then everybody knows, all right, that's what we're chasing, and competitive people can get going. It's no different than like getting your first big contract and getting complacent, or when you like the tortoise and the hare, right? When you think you're winning the race by $1 billion, you don't work as hard. There are teams out there, I am certain of it, who built up like a $22 million nest egg for their football team, and their rich guys started toasting each other. Their boosters started toasting each other. Like, look at that. We gave him $22 million. Look at, how are we not going to win the national? $22 million. And then somebody said 40, and they're like, ooh, okay. Everybody, meeting on Monday, 9 a.m. Here's the Zoom link. We need to start throwing car washes. Like, how are we going to nickel and dime our way back into this competition? You have to put the numbers out there. $40 million for a college football team. 40. Only for them all to leave in the portal the next year when you don't win.
There's that.
$40 million. Goodness gracious. I mean, we're looking at almost $1 million a starter.